Everybody, welcome to the Hilton here for our latest announcement. Absolutely over the moon to announce that the St George Groves has joined and signed a promotional contract with Matchroom Boxing. He'll make his first fight for us this Saturday at Wembley Arena, live on Sky Sports. It gives me huge pleasure to bring him to the team and also back to Sky Sports. George is in a perfect position, if you like, for someone who we see as one of the future stars of British boxing. Number 1 in the WBO, number 6 in the WBC, 7 in the IBF and 3 in the WBA. Plenty of opportunities out there for him. Obviously the potential winner for Abraham Stieglitz in time, even a potential fight with Carl Froch. And we're also delighted to announce that George will be chief support for that Carl Froch versus Mikhail Kessler fight at the O2 on May the 25th. We're going to have one-on-ones, everyone's going to get your chance to talk to all of us. I want to introduce firstly someone who's going to be obviously steering the ship for George Groves. He's almost like I see him as my boss now, if you like, because what he says goes, and we'll be basically working to his instructions in terms of how he wants us to move George at pace or at not pace or whatever he wants to do. Like I said, we're led by Adam, he's steering the ship here. And just to say a few words, Adam.
Good morning. It's the first time I've worked with Matchroom, and I'm looking forward to it. And I've been thinking about George's career, obsessing over it for quite a long time, and thinking about what the next stage is, and how now he gets from being 16-0 and on the cusp of being challenging for a world title, and making that next step, which, although it might seem a very short step, is a huge one. And having spoken to Eddie, we've all agreed that we'd like to make that step with Eddie and Matchroom, and I'm happy, I'm excited, but more importantly, I leave it to George. So.
George, over to you, mate.
I'm very, very excited to be working with Matchroom, working with Eddie. He showed a real enthusiasm, a passion to work with me. I can see that he really believes in me, and he knows I can go all the way. And this is an opportunity that I could no way turn down. Boxing on the undercard of a pay-per-view show as chief support is something I've done before, but on the undercard of Froch Kessler and the O2 Arena will be special. And as Eddie said earlier, it's a step in the right direction for me to become a world champion. I've got great rankings with all the big governing bodies, and that's what we're looking towards, that's what we're working towards this year. And with the help of Matchroom and the backing of Sky, it's going to be exciting times for sure.
Thanks, George. Just to echo that, our immediate short-term plans with George is fighting on Saturday. We'll have a full press release coming out about the fight. It'll be in a 10-round fight this Saturday on Sky. It'll be second shown live. Lee Purdy against Carson Jones firstly, then George, then Darren Barker versus Simone Rotolo. Then he'll fight on the Froch Kessler undercard in a big fight there as chief support, and then he'll be headlining his own show in September in London. So that's the short-term plan. 3 fights very quickly, in a 6-month period or less, and really progress him in the way that Adam feels he needs to be progressed, and give him every chance to succeed. So before we break on one-on-ones, going to open to the floor for any questions.
An opponent,
We do for Saturday. Anthony will send you that release.
George, how hard was it to walk away from a big fight coming up on the other bill?
Yeah, it was very, very difficult. I hold the European title as a very prestigious title. It's something that I would love to win, and I do hope to challenge for one day. There's a lot of complicated issues at the moment with that fight, and unfortunately, I've had to give it a miss for now. But it's something that I would really love to fight for. One day. We'll have to see how it goes. This is I've got a new promoter. Adam understands it very well as well, the manager. So it's up to those guys. I'll see whatever's put in front of me. I'll take. So it was very difficult. I was really upset for the fans who made plans to come and see me fight for the European title, and now they're not going to be able to see that. So it's tough. It's really tough, but I can do about it.
Adam, have you got a take on that?
No, not really. I'm only fixed on where we're going now, and all that matters now is good performance on Saturday, the right performance, showing the things that we're working in the gym, and then stepping on May 25th to hopefully a big competitive fight, and then just pushing him that much closer to the World Title Challenge.
There's been a lot of speculation about why you left, Frank Warren. What's your reason?
I'd rather not say. I mean, right now, I'm excited to be working with Matchroom. I think that's the right thing for me. Eddie's been putting on great shows. Sky have really sort of took on boxing this season. We've seen, the profiles raised of Carl Franks and Kell Brook. Good fighters who are moving on successfully in their careers, and I want to be part of that. So right now, this is the right move for me, and I'm just looking towards the future.
George, for various reasons, including injury and things, you've not fought as often as you wanted, have you, in the last year or two?
No, I haven't, no.
I mean, are you hoping this move will give you more opportunities?
It's about staying healthy, staying fit. I'm sure I'll be boxing as regular as I need to be, as long as I'm fit and healthy too. So, we're going to take, obviously, each fight to come. I'm out. I signed with Eddie and I'm boxing a week later, so I can't complain.
Further questions, guys?
Eddie, what was the timeline between George actually agreeing to join you and actually the fights on Saturday?
Well, we agreed terms late last week. Because of his situation and because of the fact that he's healthy and he's in camp, we've got a show on March the 9th, so I felt it was an ideal opportunity. Financially, it's not the greatest situation for us to add him to a card where we've already mostly sold the tickets for him. We've only got a week's lead time, but in terms of the development of George Groves' career, it was a fight that had to take place, in my opinion. The last thing he wants to do is not fight or be in a situation where he's gone through a camp that hasn't worked out and he hasn't fought. So March the 9th was a perfect opportunity. We've got a series of big shows coming up, but in terms of the gaps and the spaces for what we discussed with Adam, in terms of May the 25th is a key date for me. It's a huge show. Profile-wise, if we want to build George in London the way we want to and let him really own his own show in September, that May the 25th date was so important. So we looked at our other shows, March the 30th in Liverpool, April the 20th, and they just didn't make sense time-wise, and this one did. So we jumped on it, and he'll be boxing on Saturday at Wembley.
George, was there a problem with the European title?
I'm boxing Saturday on a match.
What I'm trying to say is that there wasn't a temptation to go through with that and then move later.
There's no temptation in answering that question. You need to know that he's going to fight on Saturday. We don't want to talk about anything that was before, all we want to talk about is what's in front. I think we made that clear in his answer. Okay. Nothing.
Make it doubly clear then.
Well, it's exciting, so what's happened. It's none of my business, and I think now it's a chance really for George to move forward at a great pace. Sky, Adam Smith and all the team at Sky are very, very excited about having George on the channel. They're going to push him just as hard as we're going to push him, and we're really looking forward to the job ahead. Myself, the team, we're going to put everything into this and give George every opportunity to succeed, and it's very, very exciting.
Has George been on Sky before?
Remember when he fought that fellow called James DeGale?
Oh, that was the guy. But not since then.
Not since James, no.
No.
No, and
That was
the
box
night
office as well.
the night he beat James, he was the brightest young prospect in British boxing, voted by the boxing writers, and now it's time for George to put that spotlight back on himself again and get the recognition that his abilities deserve and fulfil his abilities as well.
Right, guys, break for one-on-ones. Thank you very much. See you Saturday night.